Alright, guys. So, as you know, the Knicks unfortunately lost to the Boston Celtics. They unfortunately lost to the Celtics. That was crazy. I really wanted the Knicks to win. They were like in the lead for most of the game, or at least close. Like at one point they were tied, but they were like in the lead most of the time. Them, in the third quarter, they fucking came back, and all of a sudden they're down by 13. I think the final score was like, I don't even know, but I think they were like down by 30 at one point. They went from like, being, I think at the end of the second quarter it was tied, but then in the third quarter it just all fell the fuck apart. I don't know what the fuck happened. All fell apart in the third quarter. I don't even know what happened. I really wanted the Knicks to win. I'm not even a Knicks fan, but I just wanted them to win. Beat the Celtics, but oh well. I mean, it's still 3-2, so I guess they gotta play another game now. They gotta play. Yeah, they gotta play. If they would have won tonight, I'm pretty sure they would have beat the Celtics and they would have won to the next round. But now they gotta fucking play the Celtics again. I believe on Friday, but it's definitely unfortunate. They were doing good. At first they were like in the lead for like the first half of them. The third quarter, I don't know how it just all went to shit, and then they wound up losing. Like, I forgot the final score. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it was like bad. It was like they lost by like 30 points, something like that. It was a bad loss. I know Celtics fans are probably happy. I know Knicks fans are pretty pissed. And yeah, that was a pretty bad loss. So yeah, as I said, I'm not even a Knicks fan, but my team's on the playoffs, so I really wanted the Knicks to win. I was rooting for the Knicks to win, definitely, but they lost. Still like, so yeah, 3-2 now. 3 wins, 2 losses, so they're still in the lead. Up by 1. But if they would have won tonight, they would have went on to the next round and beat the Celtics in the playoffs. But oh well, I guess they're gotta play them again on Friday, so it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, I guess. It's a bad game. It's a horrible loss, but let's see what happens. Let's see if they can beat the Celtics on Friday.